Hello, everybody, and welcome to another occasion of Aren't All Kids Smart? And today we've got Madhulika joining us, who's going to tell us all about a cup of tea. So, Madhulika,
Good
good
morning.
morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning. How are you?
Madhulika. My name is Madhulika, and how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And I've just had a cup of tea, but now you're going to explain to me a little bit more about making a cup of tea and where it comes from and how many people are involved in just getting that cup of tea to me, including me pouring water onto a few tea leaves. So I'm going to hand over to you. Why
Uh,
don't you start?
for making a tea, we have to need four items, uh, which is plain water, um, sugar, sugar, tea leaves, and milk. So, Stefan, we have to take 1 cup of water, uh, tea, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of tea leaf, and boil it for 5 minutes on high flame, and then filter it into a cup, and then pour some milk into it. So the color changes into light brown color.
Fantastic. I wish I would have been told that when I was very young, because I have to make tea the way my mother used to make it. But you like sugar in it as well, do you?
Yes, I add sugar.
You add sugar, okay. And what does sugar do to a drink? What does it make it taste like?
It tastes like it is sweet, and it makes me refreshing. Refreshing.
Absolutely, yeah. It tastes sweet, and all children like sweet drinks, and lots of adults like sweet drinks too. Brilliant. So you've explained to everybody, and I like the fact that you talk about hot water, because imagine making a cup of tea with cold water. What would that taste like?
In no taste. It
No
will.
taste. It wouldn't. Yeah. Make a face of how that would taste like. Just imagine drinking a very cold cup of tea. What would that feel like?
It will just taste, yeah.
Ugh, you know. But have you ever done that before? Have you actually drunk a cup of tea thinking it's nice and hot and realizing it's very cold?
Uh, I have I actually never drank a cold tea. I have always drank a hot cup of tea.
Okay, well, when you get a little bit older, I'm sure you will experience that, and I bet you'll feel like I do. Ugh, that doesn't taste very nice. And of course, there are all sorts of different teas out there. I mean, I like green tea, but you don't put milk in green tea
No.
because milk in green tea would make it. Again, the face would turn up a bit. And we like in the UK, we're very famous over here for drinking Earl Grey tea. So there's lots of different names for tea. So where does tea come from? Can you
Uh,
explain to everyone's listening where we get our tea from?
um, the tea is first plucked. The leaves are first plucked from the farm to factory. They are they are washed, dried, and there's a rolling machine which rolls the leaf, and then they go to a further process. In that process, then the color of the leaf turns the color of the leaf green to black, as green to black, and then they have been filtered according to their sizes. Based on their sizes, they have been packed, and they are separated. And so like mm, and there's there's a large, medium, small, and there's a powder too. So like large will be expensive, medium will be less expensive, and powder will be least expensive. And
So
then
we've got
we go to market, and we buy the packet, and then we at home we make that 1 cup of tea.
wow, that's one huge process. So let's go back to the very beginning then of that process. You say it comes from a plant.
Yes.
So, and it's on a farm. So there must be something called a tea farm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they call them plantations. Have you heard of the word plantation, tea plantation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge word, really. But that's so there's a farm specifically designed to make tea
Tea.
leaves. Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? And how many people do you think are on that farm?
Hundreds.
Hundreds of people. Yeah, so hundreds of people just planting, putting these plants in the ground and then reaping the crop and then going through all that process you talk about. And then when it leaves the farm, where does it go?
After the farm, it goes to the factory where these these are these are washed uh, and dried.
So in the factory, there are more people.
Yes.
So we've got farmers, we've got lots of people picking the tea leaves for us,
Thousands of
and then thousands of people, and then they put them in big bags, and then they take them to the factory. So we got distribution going on here, delivery drivers, and then they get to the factory, and even more people get involved. What happens after the factory? Is that it? Is that the end?
after drying, and there's actually a rolling machine which rolls the leaves.
It rolls the
After
leaf.
Yeah,
Go on.
it rolls the leaf, and then it goes to the further process for actually in that process the color when it was green, now in that further process now the color of the leaf is green to black. It is further process. After that they have been filtered based on the sizes. Some are powder, some are medium, or some are large.
Well, I'm not surprised because when you start to crush and roll these leaves, you're going to get lots of powder that falls off.
Yes.
So they don't lose any of it. They capture all of the elements of the tea leaf.
Or when they are not done, they will again go for crushing and rolling. They will if they are not done. Some
Okay, and then
some leaves are not done, so say they will go again for crushing and rolling.
and do you think they do any testing at this level?
Yes, they do testing. First, they take in their in the packets, and then they go inside they start testing what will be the taste of this, what will the taste of this, and what will the taste of this. So accordingly, they will pack. Like this is small, this is powder, and this is large.
Wow, because once we get it to our home and we start to make the tea, it's all in the taste, isn't it? So they must test taste. Can you imagine how many people are just testing the tea at that level?
I think there are many people. Few.
I expect so. Imagine going to work all day and just sitting down and drinking tea and saying, "Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice too," and "Oh, that's not so good. We need to put that back in the process." But people do that, believe it or not. People actually are tea testers. That's a full-time job.
Yes.
Can you imagine that?
Yes.
So we've now come from the factory and we're now coming to your local market. So what happens then?
Um, when it comes to our local market, we go and then we buy the packet as our as we want, as much we want. This it depends on our size, and depends on our taste and size. We can buy. So we buy our taste and our size, and then we bring it to home, and then we make the tea.
And all because we're having a cup of tea. And that's all the process you've explained today about having huge farms, lots of workers on the farm, then distributed to factories, and then goes through another process to drying and rolling out and crunching and putting in more bags and then distributing it to the market. And then you go along with your parents and you go and buy a bag of tea.
Yes.
Amazing, isn't it? All of that process just so we can enjoy a cup of tea.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. And what is it about tea? So when you take that first, you've made the tea and you take that first little sip, how do you feel?
I feel it is very sweet, and it when I drank, it felt that I'm refreshed.
You were refreshed. And it did make you feel happy?
Yes.
Yeah, nice cup of tea. As they say, a nice cup of tea in the
Yes.
UK. It's always tea time, as we call it over here. Well, listen, everybody, it's been a fantastic journey that Madhulika has taken us on today. All of those people employed, all in what we call the supply chain, just so that we can enjoy a nice cup of tea. Fascinating, isn't it, Madhulika? How so many people are putting out so much effort just so you can have a nice cup of tea.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I hope everyone's enjoyed what we've been listening to today. Madhulika, you're getting better and better as you come on the video. So congratulations on your digital skills. I wish I had the background that you've got today, because that would be lovely and sunny and a beautiful sea breeze. And I'd love to jump in that ocean, but we know it's just a background, don't we? So look forward to the next installment of Aren't Kids Smart? And just going to say goodbye to Madhulika. Cheerio.
Bye bye.
And we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.